Okay, and we are live. I think, I hope. So I'm gonna wait for it to, because I gotta open up in another window here. And just want to make sure the sound is good. Oh, good. I think it's working. Yes, it is working, looks like. Okay. Okay, so I don't think anybody's gonna probably join me today, but if you do, welcome. This was an impromptu live stream, and it's because Blender 5.1 just came out a couple days ago, and I want to test out the new features of the VSE, the video sequence editor, and I want to do it before I make a tutorial. I like to test them out, but I figured, well, why not have a live stream where I test it out live and you can see it? Because sometimes when I create a video, I do it live, but then I cut it, and then people sometimes like that, people sometimes don't. But if it's live, people kind of expect, well, this is just kind of a discovery mode. So this is discovery mode. You're exploring with me as I discover the VSE. There we go. The VSE new features in Blender 5.1. So Blender 5.1 packed with a whole bunch of new features. I'm actually really excited for 5.2, but that's not going to be out yet. So if you go to developer.blender.org, go to docs up here, and then release notes. You know what? Actually, I forgot to put my, I got to get my mouse highlighter on there. All right, I hope that works there. Okay, yeah. And so go to docs, developer.blender.org, docs, release notes, and you can see what's currently active as far as the Blender versions. And then you can also go to previous versions, but Blender 5.1 is the current stable release as of March 17th, which, at least in the States, is St. Patrick's Day. But I'm really excited for 5.2. So we may dabble in that, but I want to go here first, and then a whole bunch of stuff, but we can just go to Video Sequence Editor, and we can look to see what these are. Now, I actually have read through all of these already, but I haven't tested them out, and that's the point of this video. So I'm going to read them and live, and then we're going to go test them out and see what that looks like. So the first one, getting started right away here, timeline. So we're going to start with the timeline. There's a few on the timeline. They have it categories in different ways. So timeline, preview, properties, modifiers, other, and then Python API. So timeline, the blade tool now has a box gesture that allows for quick cuts backwards to fill gaps. The size and positioning of this box allows for the control of this ripple behavior. If any part of the box lies on a channel, all strips on that channel will be included in the ripple operation as well. Hold Shift to keep gaps to prevent rippling. So I'm going to put this in full screen, and we can see a demo of what it does, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't usually use that tool, but that is actually really fast if you are familiar with the tool. So I want to go ahead and just test it out. So I'm going to test it out. Let's see here. Got to get your Blender on. Okay, so I have this up already. This was for my screenshot for the live stream, or my thumbnail. This is just Pixabay. I downloaded these. By the way, if anybody has any suggestions on how to find videos with sound on Pixabay, it's kind of like a hit or miss type of thing. I wish you could search for videos with sound, but anyway, this one does. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like my desktop audio is working. That's probably because it was on mute. Okay, now it's not on mute, and oh wait, no, that's my bad. I'm still in studio mode in OBS Studio, if you are familiar with that. Okay, so if I do that, okay, you still can't hear it. So, we want this one here. Let's see about now. Yes, there we go. So, not that you need to hear it, but there you go. So this one has sound. Video from Pixabay. Pretty cool. Anyway, and then I have this one also from Pixabay, but this one doesn't have any sound. And you can see it's the cache is prefetching here, and I don't like that, so I'm going to turn that off. I mean, I do like it certain situations, but I don't like it in all situations, and I don't like it automatically there. Anyway, that's not the point. We want to do this little blade tool. So if we do the blade tool, we can just click and drag, and wherever my mouse is, wherever that box is, it's going to cut that out, and then it's going to ripple that, and so it's going to close the gaps. And that works. Looks like it works as intended. There, you can see all of that here. So I'm just going to undo that. But I want to see, yeah. So with the select box, normally what you'd have to do is you'd have to cut it here. So select both of these, and you would cut it here with K. Well, actually, I have mine. As you know, if you've seen my key map, I have a VSE fast cut. So I'm going to change that back to Blender, and then Blender defaults is K to cut. Just want to use the Blender, and then just want to use the Blender defaults. I need to get used to being live because I can't cut things out, and sometimes when I say stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the right phrase or whatever. But anyway, so I want to use the Blender defaults for this, just for people who are wanting to know how to use Blender and don't want to change their custom key map. Okay, so if I click and drag, I can click and drag both of these handles out. And that's, if you zoom in, you can see if I get close to a handle, which is on the ends, you can see it changes to that icon. And so I can move both of the handles at the same time, or if I just want to use this one and pull this out. So I can do that, and that just changes the size of the container. It doesn't move the inside of the contents. So you have the strip, which is the container, and then you have contents inside of it, whether that's video or audio or an image or text or whatever. But I could also do this where I drag this over here and then I press K to cut again, and now we have this. And then I can X to delete these and then move this back over and hit backspace. So essentially that's what the what is this called? Blade tool. The blade tool is doing. So I take the blade tool and I cut this portion out, and then it does that. Instead of, if I undo that, I can go here, select these, cut, select these, cut, X to delete, move this back, backspace. So it is a lot faster. The only issue with it is going back and forth. Can I? Okay, well, I guess if I scrub from up here, that's fine. So, yeah. Okay. So then I can take this and do that. But I just want to be able to scrub and find the where I need to cut out. And actually, in the next video that I edit, I might actually just try this and have the blade tool, because the first thing that I do is I go through all of the stuff in my tutorials that I want to cut out. That's my first pass, basically, when video editing. And so, let's see here. So what I want to do is find all the places that I don't want. Now, this is not. Well, this is actually weird, really weird too. This the sound here, the waveform. But anyway, if I go and I find something that I want to cut out, then I can just click and drag. We'll see how fast that is. I do want to try that, but anyway, it works. So let's go back and go to the next one, which is snapping. Oh wait, first one more thing. if I click and drag and I hold shift, it'll keep that gap, or it's supposed to keep that gap. There we go. Okay, so yeah. So if I hold shift, then it's just going to keep that gap, and then I can just press backspace twice to clear those gaps. So that's pretty cool. So if you want to keep that, then that's how you do that. All right, next one is, okay, snapping to display bounds of a metastrip is now possible if snap to frame range is enabled. Okay, so, and you can go to each one of these PR things with the projects, and I'm using a VPN, so I've got to verify. You usually don't have to verify. I don't know if you can see this unless you are actually, I'm not a developer, but like I signed up for created a username and all of that stuff for here. So, okay, that doesn't really give us any more information, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. So this is cool. I like this. So a metastrip, basically, let's go back to Blender here. Metastrip is if I take like these three here and I, oops, see, now I'm used to the select box. So go back to the select box, take these three here, and then Control G, and it groups them. It's just a group, basically. And I don't know what they call them in Adobe, but the group is now just one strip. So if I select it, I can tab inside and go into the metastrip. Previously, if we take these and now we have a gap here. Previously, I couldn't go to the start of the metastrip frame very easily. I'd have to like go out of it and then go. What is it? Page down? Oh, page up. Yeah. So page down and page up go to the ends, the handles of the strips. And so you'd have to go out, go to a handle, and then tab back in, and there you go. But I think while you're in here now, see if I press page down or page up, it's not going to do anything. And I think you have to have this new snap to, let's see. Where is it though? Range. Strip. Transform. I actually don't know where this is. Can I do F3? Snap. Oh, maybe it's not called snap. What was it called? Frame range is enabled. If snap to frame range is enabled. Okay. I wish they had a picture or something. Where do you... Snap to frame... I need to find this. Frame range. How do I... Oh, snap. Maybe it's here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so snap to frame range is on, but it still isn't doing that. Oh, if I click jump to endpoint? Nope. See, jump to endpoint jumps to the first frame of the timeline. Okay. Well, that doesn't seem to be working then, does it? If I press page up or page down, it goes this way, but it doesn't go... Well, how do I do that? Snap to preview or scene start and end frame. Okay, it's either not working or... What is this? Oh, use snapping. Snap playhead when scrubbing. Keyframes, markers, frames. I don't know if that's okay. I mean, it's not a very big metastrip, so I can just drag it over here. But I thought I could just. Okay, well maybe let's do this. You can actually put metastrips and metastrips anyway. So I'm just going to select everything and put it in a metastrip. Let's go to here and tab in, move everything. Let's turn, oh, seconds, just frames. Seconds markers. Okay. If I just put markers here, what does this do? Okay, that's not really snapping. Okay, let's do strips. Okay, so it snaps to the strips. It's not snapping to that. Let me put, if you hit shift, you can select multiple on these, just FYI. But that's not even working now because it's not snapping to that strip now. Oh, I know why, because it's snapping to every single frame. We don't want that. Ooh, I like this though, snapping to seconds. This is actually cool. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's like actually a discovery that I didn't even realize. This might have already existed. I don't know. But I like that. We can snap to the seconds. That's cool because then no matter how many frames per second you have, you're always starting on the first frame for that second. That's really cool. Okay, I'm still not able to snap to second step. Okay, snap target. I'm just gonna turn that off. Because this is still frame range, current frame. Oh, snap to current frame. Oh, you know what? This is probably for the playhead. Yep, snap playhead when scrubbing. This is for strips. So I wonder, maybe that's what this means. Snapping to display bounds of a metastrip. Sorry, snapping to display bounds of a metastrip is now possible if snap to frame range is enabled. Maybe that's just these strips. Oh yeah. Okay. I see. I'm following now. Sorry, it took me a little while to get there. But snap the strips. So if I select everything then, and I can just snap that to the beginning there. Which is still, that's still pretty useful. That's still pretty useful. Something else about snapping, which might be the next one. No, it's not the next one, but I'm going to jump to this because I'm already doing this for the snapping. Groups of selected strips can now be snapped to the playhead while maintaining their positions relative to each other unless you uncheck the keep offset. So the normal behavior, well, let me just do it. So we have all of these selected, and if I press Control or Shift S to snap, it crashes. So let's try not to crash Blender. Let's open another Blender stable, which should be stable. Although, you know what, I should download the daily 5.1. Is there a daily 5.1? There isn't. Is there an experimental 5.1? No, they're on 5.2. Okay. daily candidate 5.1. Oh, there's a 5.1 candidate, but that would no. We want the stable, which I did launch. All right. Anyway, so let's do a new video editing. And because I didn't save it, I should probably just save it. Where are my videos? Here we go. Let's just do this one again. Let's make some cuts. You know what? Let's make some cuts with our new blade tool thingamajigger. And turn off that dumb prefetch frames. Okay. Let's see here. So now we have multiple strips. I guess I should go ahead and save it, right? I thought I put this interface. Let's see, interface. Oh, keep maximize their file browser. I want a new window. Just because I like to have doing the save stuff over here. Let's do save over here. And then we'll put you back over here. Okay. Just so we get it out of the way. Let's see. LiveStream's Blender. Thumbs. New features. Blender. And VSE. 5.1. New features. A101. Enter, enter. There we go. Okay. So let's try this again. So we select everything and then Shift S. No. I forgot I also need to change my key map back to the regular Blender. Okay. Now, sorry. Thank you for bearing with me here. Shift S. Okay, good. So they're all relative. So it just basically, it's almost like clearing the gaps. So they all snap, but they all snap with keeping their offset. If I uncheck keeping the offset, if you come down here to this little thing right after you perform the operation, now this only appears if you have view adjust last operation checked. You won't see it if this is unchecked. So make sure that's checked. And then you come down here, snap strips to the current frame, and then uncheck keep offset. And this is the original behavior of it. So if you had multiple strips selected and you snapped them, it would snap the beginning handles of all of the strips just like this, and it would just put them all out of order, which was useful sometimes, which is why I'm glad they kept it in here as an option. You can uncheck this. But this is, for the most part, how people want to snap stuff. So if you have a whole bunch of different groups of things, oh wait, let's do select, let's say this is over here, this, we got to cut this, and this is up here, maybe this is over here like this. And you wanted to like snap it to a certain point here. I suppose we can just do this, snap this, and then if I want to select everything on this side, I press Control and click, and that selects everything on the side of the playhead that your mouse is on. And now I can just press Shift S, and then it snaps. But it snaps relative to the active selection, which is the strip in the white outline. So everything else has an orange outline. This one has the white outline, which is why it snapped like this. So that's also cool too with that offset. So, but I want to make this the active one. So with everything selected still, I can press Shift and then select, and then that changes this to the white outline, which means that's active, which means that now if I hit Shift S, then it does it, but it says snap to left, and I want to snap to the right. So I can actually change that. So there's a lot of different options that we didn't have before which I'm really excited about. It says snap to oh yeah, sorry, I'm just checking my live stream here and the sound, making sure the sound was okay. I actually want to turn that off for now, the desktop audio there. Okay, so I'm going to, yeah. So now we have all this selected, and it might be faster, it might not, but I mean, with this snapping tool on, I could have just taken it, press G to grab, and then snapped them, which is what I usually do. So it really is up to you on how you want to do that. But anyway, that's snapping. Let's go ahead and save this again and go back to our developer.blender. The speed control strip can now take negative values in multiply mode to reverse the footage. Do I even have a video that I could demonstrate this on? I guess driving. I guess driving here. So I wonder. Well, I'm just going to do this without putting it in a meta strip, and then I might have to put it in a meta strip. But anyway, let's add an FX strip speed control, and let's just see. So the way you control speed. Okay, so yeah. Unfortunately, this is very difficult to explain. This goes back to what I was saying with you have the strip here, that's the container, and then you have the video inside the strip. And if we do S to slide, you can see now I'm sliding the contents, the audio and video, within the strip. The strip itself isn't moving, but I'm sliding the contents of the strip back and forth. Now you can see these little bars that go out on either side. When I press S to slip, this is the that's where the content starts and ends. So if I just grab this here, and if I just zoom out, you can see, press S, you can see that whole thing right there, those two little bars that are coming out on either side, that is the offset. That is where the actual media is, whether it's video or audio. So with the speed control is only, basically it's taking the entire media, the entire offsets, these bars here, the whole thing. It's ignoring your cuts, but it's fitting the entire video within this one speed control strip. So it's taking the whole video and just smashing it together and making it faster, essentially. So the whole strip is from start to finish is from here to here. So that's why it goes, you can see it going really, really, really fast. So I hope that makes sense. It probably does, probably doesn't. I don't know. What you have to do instead is put at least the video in a meta strip. So I'm going to go to strip and disconnect strips because they're connected right now, because I only want to select the video. Press Control G to put that in a meta strip. Now, if I press S to slide, you see this red this red outline. That's because it's like clamped. I can press C to unclamp it, and then if I move it, there you can see the offset here of the media is only the same exact amount of length, amount of frames, as the meta strip itself, which means you're only going to take from here to here, and then when you add a speed control, it shouldn't change anything if you don't change the size of the strip. So if we watch this here, that's the oh, now that's kind of hard to see because of the let's find a different spot here where we can actually see the road. I haven't put any. Hold on. color management, standard, gamma. Okay, yeah, that must just be the video. So it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, here we go. Let's do it with this. I'm going to select everything on this side, X, delete, take this, and I'm going to pull these out over here. Oh wait, so I must have changed something accidentally, because oh nope. Okay, it just nope. Okay, so the video does right here starts. It gets blown out on the highway, which is fine because we can just use it here, and we can take these and snap those there. All right, good. So once again, if I disconnect these, take just this one and press Shift S. Nope. Just S. And if I go back and forth, I'm changing the I don't want to clamp. Press C. Changing where the inside of the media in the strip. And you can see if I zoom out and I do that again, this is the entire thing. So if I add a speed control to this, it's going to take in the entire strip. Even it's going to ignore our cuts basically, like I said. Okay. I'm over explaining things. I know, I'm sorry. Okay. Taking the video, Control G, making a meta strip, and now if I hit S and then C to unclamp it, now we only have this amount. So if I hit play, you know what? It did the same thing. Why did it do the same thing? Probably because I did the slip. So let's go. There we go. Okay. Let's unconnect or disconnect these strips. Select this one, Control G, and now if I SC, okay, good. And now it's not blown out so that we can see it going forwards and backwards. Okay. Oh dear. Well, welcome to the live. Okay, so let's play and watch this. So you can see it's going forward. And if I go here, add an effect strip speed control, and if I press play again, it's the same speed. Because there is only that section of the meta strip that it's taking into account. It's not taking into any offsets outside of it. Okay. Now, if I take the end of this and move it in like this, it should speed it up. So now we've taken essentially what should have been over here and smashed it over here. So now the entire thing from start to finish is from here to here, which essentially speeds it up. And you can see that there. Or if I take the end and I pull it out, and if I press C so that I can pull that out, now I'm slowing it down. So what should have ended here now ends here. So if I play it, it should be actually really slow. And I'm going to get rid of the sound. We don't really need that right now. So now it's going slow. Okay, so let's take this one, Alt-O to clear that offset, and let's just refresh. Nope. R, nope. Control E. Okay, so just move it around to refresh it. So where the speed control snaps back to where it should. Okay, so that's all the normal speed control stuff. What's new now is if we open up the properties, go to the properties for the speed control, make sure your speed control is selected. We can, let's see, well, where is it? Stretch. Okay, the speed control is stretch. If I go to multiply and I can multiply it to, an exact amount, or I can just do -1, and now it goes backwards. So I'm reversing it essentially. So that's one way you can reverse the footage there. But what I would probably do instead of this I mean, this is nice to know that you can do this, but what I would probably do is just get rid of the speed control. If you just take the meta strip, you can go to video and then click reverse frames, and it does the same thing. And then you don't have any extra strips and different channels that you have to occupy. It's just a lot cleaner that way. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So let's start. Let's go back to here. Next one, retiming keys can now be completely hidden with a new retiming icon that shows up when the strip has retiming keys on it. Okay, so if I do Control R, you have retiming keys, and this is instead of the speed control. So I don't use retiming keys. I have tried several times. They really confuse me. If you're using 1 or 2, if you're using 2, like on the either ends of this, and you're using it, it's fine. But if you start adding more keyframes, which you can on here, it just gets messy. Anyway, so now you have a retiming key, and that affects the speed as well. But I still believe that you have to do the metastrip thing. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna undo that. Let's just check. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this, and then we're going to Control Alt G to get rid of that metastrip. Let's do a retiming key, Control R, and I'm curious to see. Okay, so here's the strip with our cuts, and then if I take this and I pull this in, does that speed it up? Yes, it does. Okay, so that's fine. I understand that part. It's just when you start to get into different retiming keys on it and all. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is you can hide these retiming keys with this. Coming here to overlays, clicking off retiming keys, even when they have retiming keys on. I think that's how it is. A new retiming key icon that shows when the strip has retiming keys on it. Yes, so now I can see whether or not this has retiming keys with this little icon here. And if I, well, let's just do it on this one. So if I take this one, Control R. Oh, I'm not, I'm not seeing the retiming keys. There we go. Retiming key, Control R. All right. Oh, look at that. It doesn't show up on a metastrip. Interesting. It does on here. Okay. Well, if I go to strip retiming and reset retiming. Okay, Control R. Control R. Okay, you can't add retiming keys unless this is checked. Okay, but if I hide that, or maybe, wait, how do I, oh, if I select, okay, I'm selecting that. Hide, H to hide. What? I'm confused. Okay, so I don't know. This is, again, the whole retiming thing confuses me. Apparently you have to have the retiming key selected in order to see that icon. I don't know if that's meant to happen or not. But there you go. Well, let's go to the PR. Pull request, I think it is. PR? Yeah, pull request. Okay, let's just look at this. Before any added retiming keys, before any added retiming keys to a strip were drawn permanently, and toggling off show retiming keys would just make them slightly more transparent. With this patch, allow hiding retiming keys completely to keep the status info show an icon in the strip header when there are retiming keys present, except for it doesn't unless you select the retiming key. Maybe that's not. Maybe that's a bug. Maybe that's not something that's supposed to happen. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Well, there you go. See. Yep. Well, it's still the same thing. I mean, you do have this little key. Yeah. I mean, the retiming key. This little icon. So it does work. I don't know if it's working as intended. Let's see. Let's go back here. Let's show the retiming keys. What is that? What is that? Okay, strip retiming. Show retiming keys. Control R. Control R. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't know. So sometimes it's on and sometimes it's not. Control R. Let's just reset. I'm gonna try this again. We're gonna get one more go. Reset retiming keys. Okay. Control R. Don't want to see them. Oh yeah, delete. I'm just gonna delete the retiming keys. Okay. So now we have retiming keys. We don't have the icon. And if I do Control R, it doesn't say anything. But I haven't changed anything. So maybe I have to change something. No, I didn't change anything. I just selected it. So you have to at least select it looks like. And I don't know if that's the proper behavior. But you have to at least select it and then you can see this little icon here. What happens if I delete this one here? Delete retiming keys. Oh, I didn't have this one selected. Retiming. Delete retiming keys. Did it delete it? No, it didn't delete it. See, this is what I'm saying. It's just, this is, okay. I'm done with retiming keys, but that is how you're, I guess, supposed to do it. I don't know. Okay, get rid of that. I don't want retiming keys on here. Retiming, reset retiming, delete retiming. Just get rid of them. I don't want them here. I don't even show them. Okay. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Okay. We did this one. Okay, now we're in the preview. Strips can now snap to increments when scaling or rotating in the preview. This is easy enough to show. So if I'm in the preview and I press R, it smoothly rotates unless I press Control, and now it snaps to increments, which is a feature in other parts of Blender in the 3D space and other places. So now they've just added it to here. So same thing with scale, probably. So scale is smooth scale unless I hold down Control. And then also I'm guessing if I move, it's gonna. Oh, see, no, but if I move and it doesn't snap. But that's because that's the default kind of snapping up here. And same thing, borders, center, otherwise. Border center other strips. If I uncheck that and now I move, then it doesn't snap by default. But then if I hold Control, then it snaps to all of those things by default. So it doesn't do it with that. It's just the rotating and scaling. Yeah, scaling and rotating in the preview. Okay, next one, properties. The strip time properties panel was cleaned up and improved. Oh yeah. So that is this. Show a picture here. So here's the API, which is on the bottom of the other page. But here's before and after. And this is what I was talking about with the containers and the media inside the container. So the strips are the containers. Then you have the video inside that. You have the audio inside the container. This is what this is talking about now. So before, it wasn't very clear because it used strip offset and hold offset, which it was kind of confusing language. So now if I scroll down here this is the time in our properties. And so it's now left handle, strip duration. Now we can see, but the content duration is just duration, which is 900 frames or 30 seconds, right? Is that right? So, but this particular strip is not that. It's only 111 frames right now, and it's only 3 seconds and 21 frames. So that kind of tells you like how, and where your content starts is frame 9, which is this one. So you got frame 9, and if I Control T, I can toggle. There's your frames. Control T toggles to the time, but you see this +9. You can still see the frame, but that's with the time. But it resets every. What's our frames per second? Frames per second is 29.97. So it's gonna reset when we reach 29, essentially, or 30, and then you can see it goes back down to +3, +4, +5. So that's for each second. But if we go Control T, you can also go to View, use time code. Control T, same thing. Check that on, or check that off. Anyway, the frames. This is starts on frame 9, and that's the content start. But if I let's go back over to here to our time. So the content start is on frame 9, and the left handle is on frame 9, which means that they match. Means that there's no offset going this way. If I press S, now there's an offset going this way. As I change this, you can see the content start changes. So now the content start is on frame 1, while the left handle is still on frame 9. So I hope that's starting to make sense. But the way the nomenclature here makes a lot more sense, instead of holds offset or strip offset or whatever. Now we know the left handle, strip duration, right handle is all about the container, because those are the 3 parts to the container. And now the content start, the thing inside, whether it's video, audio, text, image, whatever. Content start. I don't know why they don't say content duration and content end. That would be more consistent. And then this would be the hold offsets, where now we're like content trim start, but I don't know what that's doing. So I'm gonna have to mess around with that. But that's essentially the idea. So let's go to the next one. Okay, modifiers. Strips inside or outside of metastrips can be assigned as mask modifier inputs. This is nice, because you want to be able to use a mask. Let's see, what does this say? Strips inside or outside of the net can be assigned as a mask modifier inputs. Okay. So we're just going to make a strip mask here real quick. I'm going to do just 2 colors, black and white. So just a color, and then I'll duplicate this up. Take the top color, I'm going to make this white, and then I'm going to grab X and move this over like this. Okay, so now if I take these, Control G, now this metastrip is essentially a mask. So we got a black and white mask. This is visible. This would be invisible. This might not be the best. You know what I'm going to do? Let's just do this. I'm going to render this out as an image. And we'll just say mask. Very intuitive. And because since it's talking about metastrips, you could just use this one as the mask, but I don't want to get confused with our metastrips. So I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to bring in where is this? Yeah, mask. Okay, so here's our mask. Now we just have an image strip that's a black and white mask. So now, before, you could only use this if it was in the same vicinity or sphere. So if this was in a meta strip, Control G, I would not be able to use this mask if I tabbed in here. It wouldn't give me an option to use that mask. But now I can use a mask that's outside of this meta strip, inside of the meta strip. If I select our strip and go to strip modifiers, go to mask, and then it recognizes I have mask.png. It originally, again, this wouldn't show up in that list. So I'm going to use this on here, and now you can see, or can you? Ooh. Well, maybe I can't. Oh, it's going to crash. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that didn't just or crash my Blender. That crashed my whole system. Come on, Blender. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so that didn't just sorry about that. Or crash my Blender. That crashed my whole system. Come on, Blender. Yeah. This is so just as a really quick aside. This is why I don't like. This is why I don't like using new versions of Blender for tutorials or doing anything, because it is unstable for the most part. Even the stable version, the first few iterations of the stable version are usually fairly unstable. My favorite versions to use are the long-term support versions that are like well into the long-term support, because they're just robust, and you get used to all the settings, and you get used to all the quirks and whatever, but it usually doesn't crash your system. And so, yeah. So this is again something new that I don't normally do, but I want to try to keep up with all of the changes that Blender is making, because they are cool changes. They're really cool changes. It's just they're not polished all that well yet. So let me get my Blender launcher launched up again. Come on, let's go. And get Blender up again. Let's go to new features. Yeah, we delete that. This is a long. I kept forgetting to save it, which that usually does happen. Okay, let's cut this. Oh nope. Let's preferences. Blender. Okay, let's save it. Do another iteration. Why not? Oh, and I forgot also in my preferences to interface. Interface needs to be new window for the file browser. Also save that. Save. Pull this over here. Okay. Over. Ooh, that's cool. I'm going to show you this. This is also something I just discovered. Not only do you have this red thing here when you're wanting to save, so the red bar was always there if you were going to save over something with the same name. you don't get a separate prompt, and it looks like you still don't get a separate prompt, but instead of, like if I change the name, if I press plus, now it's 3, now I can just save as. Well, now it looks like instead of save as, it says overwrite, which is also in red. That is cool. I still prefer a separate pop-up. Like, because I'm constantly like saving iterations really quickly, I still really prefer a pop-up that would stop me from doing it. See, nothing stops you from doing this if you're going fast. Even if you see it, you might click, just get into the force of habit, the motor skills. So this is nice. It's a step up, but it's not quite what I'd like. But anyway, okay, let's see. Can we get back? Let's get our, yes, restore. Okay. Oh, all right. Well, this hasn't been perfected yet, so I'm not going to, but you understand the concept that I was going for if you were following along. All right. Olina. Yes, that's my thoughts exactly. Crashing my whole system. Okay, but it looks like we're back. It didn't end the stream or anything. I didn't have to restart fully. It just logged me out of everything and closed all my programs. But back to it. Compositor modifier can now use the sequencer strip info. Oh yes, I haven't tested this out, but this is really cool as the concept. So as you know, as of Blender 5, or maybe you don't know this, but Blender 5 now has the compositor and the VSE are now connected. So you can have, if I, let's just disconnect the strips. I'm going to delete the audio. We don't need that. I can go up to here. Let's save it. Just get a habit of saving. Strip modifiers, and I can add in a compositor modifier now, and then just say new. And now I have a new sequencer compositor nodes, which if I go here and I change the compositor to sequencer, I can now change this with the compositor. So if I wanted to, for example, vignette, I can add a vignette to this. Boom. And then I can change the size of the vignette. Factor. Feather. You can see that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to get rid of the Control X to delete a node, but keep the connection. But this one, let's see, do I have a screenshot? Oh, we actually even have one better. It's a 1 second. Right. Okay, and they're actually using the vignette, I think. Oh no, just an ellipse mask with a time curve. Interesting. But this is actually good for like doing animations. I guess within the nodes, because it's using the start frame and the end frame for the time curve. So let's test that out. But we're going to test it out with something else. We're going to test it out with a transform. So transform node, let's just do, we'll just do a transform, I guess. And moving it to on the X or the Y, you can see it doesn't move the actual strip boundaries. I'm just going to turn off the overlays so we don't really care about that. So we're going to move it from here to here, using kind of the same type of method. So let's see. We have a time curve, and that's going to be plugged into the factor. Do I have a factor on here? No, but it will be the X. Maybe I should just try it with what it had with the ellipse mask. You know what? Okay. Just one thing at a time. Okay. So let's time curve. Okay. And then we want the sequencer strip info. So now we have info from our strip, which is the start frame, end frame, the location of it, the rotation, and the scale, which is awesome. So to the X, let's see what what happens. Nothing, because I think I probably have to do something with this. Yeah, that doesn't help. Okay, so factor here, mask value 1. Okay, so I'm guessing it's from 0 to 1. How would I do this here? So we're not going to do the transform. We're going to do the same thing here. So ellipse mask and group input and a mix node. Okay, so we got the group input here. We ellipse mask here. We plug that into the size. Okay, plug that into the size. Let's get rid of that. And then we want to mix these. Whoops, what's the... Oh, but it's not mixed here. This is the factor. And now I can change the color of my my ellipse mask. Okay, so now let's change this. I'm gonna K to cut that, X to delete that. Let's save it. So from start, because it's going to automatically recognize the start frame and end frame. Okay, let's refresh though. Control E to refresh everything. Awesome. And so this is now going to stay with this. Let's we can go ahead and make that black. And I'm guessing I can reverse this with this and do different things. So but I'm going to reverse this. So now it starts off and then it closes. Okay, so now I can just use this compositor node or modifier on other things. So I'm just going to do, just real quick, a color, and we'll make this a blue color, like this. And then I can say, oh, let's go to the modifiers. Let's add a compositor modifier. And in the list, we can say, oh, we want to do the vignette, but that's not what we named it. What did we name it? We'll say my own vignette. Is that how you spell vignette? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm going to take this, and now I'm going to choose my own vignette. And now, from the start to the end, it's the same exact thing. No matter how long this is, it's going to always go from the start frame to the end frame. Of course, we've got to refresh so that it recognizes it. This is awesome. This is really cool. What this means is you can now take group nodes that you've made yourself and make your own, well, transitions. You can make your own transitions, you can make your own animations, and then that's like almost like an asset that you can use with any strip that you have. So once you create it, it's there for you to use, and you can use that on any image or video or whatever. And that's really cool. So I like this. Okay, let's go to the next one. Pitch modifier can be added to sound strips. Okay, so this is a little different than the audio. So we do have to bring in our audio again. What do I want to use for that though? You might have to bear with me so I can use one of my oh, I don't know. Where's my thing? I'm trying to find graphics. I'm just trying to find my own voice and me on the the green screen background, and I don't know where I put that video. Crap. Okay, I just need something with sound. Experiments. Green screen. I have a lot of experiments. Mirror, ghost. I might just have to do one of my recent tutorials. Oh, I know what I can do. Yes. Me visiting Blender. Blender. Okay, where's the renders final? Blender HQ. All right, this is what we're going to use. So, okay, we can get rid of that. Let's add in this video. Okay, so we're just going to cut it here. Get rid of that. Okay, so let me turn on my sound again. Oh, wait, let's see. Is it on already?
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not have known about me.
Okay, good. So if I select the audio and I go here, you can, this one you can preserve the pitch. So if I added a speed control on this and I changed it or used the retiming keys, it would preserve the pitch here. But now we have a new modifier, a pitch modifier. Actually, we have several new. We have a sound equalizer and an echo. And I believe they are going to be adding more effects for sounds so that your audio editing in Blender is going to have a huge quality of life improvement. So anyway, so now we can preserve, say, pitch, semitones. Okay, we can preserve vocal formats, but we can change the pitch. So,
hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy.
Semitones, sense, I don't know. I'm just going to keep going like this.
Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may.
I love it because normally you associate with the higher pitch with fast, going fast, but this is not. This is actually.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not have known about.
This is the same speed. It's just you can change the pitch, which is pretty cool. Okay, what's the sense here?
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not have known about me.
So I wonder. Hold on. I wonder what.
Hi,
I wonder what preserve vocal formants is. Let's just make this a 0.
Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not have known about me.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so let's go low.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not have known about me.
Weird. That's really weird. Let's do an echo. I haven't seen this yet. Okay.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's.
Oh wow, that's a big. Let's hide this for a second.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you.
Delay is 1 second. Yeah, we don't want 1 second. What's 0.1?
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not.
Ooh, that's nice. How about 0.05? A little bit faster.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something.
That's good reverb. It's good reverb. 0.08.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may.
Now let's turn the pitch back on.
Hi, I'm Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not.
That's cool. So you can layer these here. So a lot more audio control. I mean, I shouldn't say a lot more. A little more audio control with, I think, a lot more on the way. Super excited for what the future of Blender video editing and audio editing is. So, okay, let's keep going. It is, wow, I'm past an hour. I wanted to try to keep it in an hour, but if you know anything about me and my videos, I never can keep that up. Anyway, echo modifier can be added to sound strips. Okay, that's what we just did. Echo can be controlled with delay, feedback, and mix parameters. I didn't do the feedback or mix parameters, but I'm sure you can play around with that and figure that out. The compositor modifier, next one, can now be created together with a compositing node tree directly from the compositor. I didn't realize that I couldn't do that before. So, yeah, I don't know. Here's the compositor. And you just click new, I guess, and you can create a new one. There you go. And now I have a new sequence modifier. So yeah, it was only one way. So you had to actually go here, select the strip, and then add the modifier first, and then you select it here. But now you can just select the strip, click new, just like you would do in geometry nodes, and then it pops up and makes a new one. So that's cool. Other metastrips have audio volume setting to control the volume of all strips within the meta. I love this. I love this. This is something that I had wanted recently, actually. So if you have a couple of different videos, actually, if I re-import this video, if I can find it again. Let's see, where are my live streams? Live streams. Oh, it's not going to be in there anyway. It's going to be in my downloads. All right, here we go. Let's pull this back in. So if these are in an audio or in a meta strip, I'm going to turn, that's really loud. So I'm going to turn this one down, 0.05. I think.
Here's something you may not.
Maybe 0.5.
Justin with Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not.
0.1.
Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not.
There we go. Okay, now I can take those, put them in a meta strip, and now I have a volume for the meta strip. And then this is like a master volume. So if I bring this down to 0.5, it will take everything down and
With Blender Frenzy, and here's something you may not know.
And essentially I could just mute it without going inside. What you would have to do is you'd have to tab inside of the meta strip, select your audio, and then mute the audio that you want, or all of the audio. But if you had a mixture of a whole bunch of different things, you'd have to select all of the audio strips, and it was very tedious. So this is really nice just to have something to be able to mute it with as a whole, or just turn it up or down in tandem. So that's really cool. How are we doing on the stream still? I haven't checked my stream yet. Oh, hey, look, Alina, I'm so sorry. I haven't been looking at the chat because not many people have been in here, and so I've just been kind of focused on this. But I don't want to interrupt your live stream, but I know that interacting in the chat room can boost algorithmic promotion, so I wanted to say hello. Well, hello, and thank you for that. And I'm sorry for not interacting. Normally when I do see like several chats starting to pop up, I try as best as I can to keep up with those, because absolutely one of my best live streams, the funnest that I had on the live stream was like people were interacting, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. And then I was going back and forth, and who knows, I may even connect with people. Okay, okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say Nuni. I don't know how to pronounce that, and this is also notorious. I just don't know how to pronounce a lot of stuff. says your videos have been so helpful in learning the intricacy of the VSE. Well, thank you, and I am happy to do the VSE. I love the VSE, so thank you so much for putting these out. You are welcome. So since this is a live stream, obviously this is kind of, again, exploration, discovery mode, which I think people expect. People expect to do this, and what I'm saying is people expect me to be as I am now, like but you know, and kind of go slower in live stream. But people don't like when they click on a video, oh, here are the new features of the VSE, and me rambling all the time. So this is going to be the best of both worlds. So I think I'm going to do this going into the future, where every new like iteration where we get new features for the VSE, I'm going to do a live stream just discovering it like I'm doing today. And then I'm going to go and do a video, a shorter video, editing everything, not editing the live stream, just doing a completely different video where I can edit down. Here's all the new features, 3 to 5 minutes, boom, 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 like a lot of people do for the new features of Blender anyway. So I'm kind of trying to play with these kind of formats. So yes, and I'm going to try now. We got some people in the chat concurrently, and if you want to put it in here, put a chat in there. If you have a question or if you just want to say something, I will do my best to converse with you, because we're hanging out together. So we only got a few more left here. Did I finish this one? Oh yeah, this is really good. This meta strip thing, really good. Okay, let's go back to render settings. Audio bitrate can be set to higher values. Okay, so this is just quality of life for render settings for the audio. I don't really have anything to. I mean, we can go to rendering, and if I say I want to render a video, going to the encoding, here the audio. So the bitrate can go, I guess, up to what was it now? It used to only be limited to 384 kilobits per second, but now it's 2048, depending on audio codec limits. But yes, so essentially we can just crank that up now, 2048. Okay. It's 256 by default. So the progress bar is more useful when building proxies for multiple movie clips. Yes. Yes. So if you use proxies, which I will kind of show you a little example of this, I don't think I have my proxies set to automatic, but if you first open up Blender and if you haven't changed this in your preferences, if you go to System and scroll all the way down, the video sequence editor, or video sequencer, whatever, same thing, you can set the cache limit here, and you can also set the proxy setup to automatic or manual. Now, I would do automatic if I could designate where the proxies go, because I have a specific proxy folder that I put all of my Blender proxies in to keep it clean. I know where everything is, but it doesn't have that. If you set this to automatic, it's going to automatically create the proxy in whatever folder the source video is. And I don't like that, because then my proxies are all over the place. And if I need to find one, then you don't really. There's not really a lot of reasons why I would need to find it. But it's a lot of information that's spread out. I like to keep everything in one place for the proxy. So I have it set to manual. And then what you can do is open up your sidebar here by pressing N. Go to the proxy tab, and you can change it to per strip or per project. And this is what I like to do, because per project you get that directory, and then I can change the directory. And my directory is let's see here. Where am I? Documents. No, home. Blender Frenzy. Blender proxies. There it is. There we go. So I have all these proxies here. And I'm just going to go here and I'm just say accept. So now I have my directory set up. So everything that I put in here now will go in when I build the proxies. It will go in to that folder. So I'm going to Control Alt G, get rid of that meta strip. But now I can select. Let's just disconnect all of this stuff here. I don't like the new connection, because I do things differently. But I'll just select all of these here, and I'll set selected strips. I'll say 25% because it's the lowest. And then it sets all of these to be set up as 25%. So if I select on each of those, then now we have strip proxies at 25%. Now if I select all of them again and then click rebuild proxy and timecode indices, now we have a building proxies progress bar down here for all of them together. Before, what it would do, it would do them in succession. It would do this one and then this one and then this one, but you wouldn't know which one it's on, and so you wouldn't know how long you had left to wait for all of your proxies. But now this is all of them together. So I know that once this reached 100%, then it means that all of the proxies in here that I've rebuilt will be finished. So it just was a little bit misleading. It was fine if you only had one or two, but if you had a lot of them in there, then it just kept the progress bar just kept resetting, and you didn't know, okay, how long do I have left? Okay, so that's what that is. Let's save it here. Okay, let's see. I like how the File Explorer lets you set bookmarks for folders like that. Does it? I don't know. I don't use the File Explorer, and maybe that's something that they have changed. Actually, I did see people dragging multiple things in from the File Explorer, which the last time I tried it didn't work for me. So, but I haven't tried it yet. But it was just it wasn't, because you could drag multiple stuff from your File Explorer on your desktop instead of through Blender. But Blender's File Explorer wouldn't let you do that. So I was like, well, I just don't like it. Just doesn't help me to do this. So I'll have to revisit the File Explorer, and maybe I'll use it more often. There is talk, so I'm part of the sequencer chat on Blender, and there is talk about, well, I think it's more than just talk. I think they're actually doing work on it. Well, maybe, I don't know. They're experimenting with a media bin. Okay, so where, like, you know, other video editing programs, you put the you'd set up folders as media bins, and then you could set start and end points to video, and then drag those into the sequencer timeline, and that actually is really cool. But that's a ways away. I think it's not going to be here yet. I don't even know if it's going to be a thing for 5.2 yet. So that's off in the distance. But I believe it's in the works. So they're going to try to work out something like that. The problem is, of course, it's not ever just the thing that you want. You can't just tack something on. It has to work with the rest of Blender, and it has to make sense, and it has to, you have all the stuff in the back end and the data blocks and things like that. Okay. So that's that. Very nice. Yeah, you can bookmark folders, and it will keep them in a list to access them anytime you open Blender. Okay. Well, that's cool. I'm going to have to try that then. But for now, what was I? Progress bar. Good. We just finished that. Last one here. Soloing strips for the right-click select key map is now Control left mouse. Oh, yeah. Soloing strips. Right. So I don't use right click select, but if you've been using Blender for a while, you know that when Blender first came about, the way you selected 3D objects, I don't know if it was also 2D objects, but at least in the 3D, when you were building 3D stuff, to select anything, it wasn't left click, it was right click. And there are still some very diehard Blender users that insist on right click select. But you can actually change that. So I don't know where it is. Oh, is it under key map? Yeah, select with the mouse button left or right. Now, eventually they changed it when they did an overhaul of Blender for, I think it was 2.8. They changed the default to be left, but they obviously still kept where you can change it on your own, which is fine, which I like. But I do like intuitively you want to select with the left. I mean, just every other program select with the left. But I guess they argued that selecting with the right made the workflow faster, which I've never tried, so I don't know. But what it's saying is soloing strips. So I keep mine with the left. Soloing strips, it's always right. Let's see, shift right click if you have this. So what that means is, if you have overlapping images or video on top of each other, and you want to see, you want to see only one of them, then you can shift right click and you can view whichever one that you want, which is really, really helpful. It's also helpful if you have have some of them or all of them hidden, and it does it even if they're hidden. Shift right mouse and drag. This is saying soloing strips for the right click select, because now you have, instead of right click, you have to, because you're selecting strips with right click. So it's shift left mouse for those. So if I switch that, I believe, well, let's just try it. So if I go to right click, now shift left click now is those soloing those strips, and then I'm right clicking to select. So yeah, it is exactly how it's intuitive. It's exactly how I thought it would be. Okay, and then the rest of the stuff is just back end stuff with API and coding and stuff. I don't do that, so I don't really have anything to say. They just looks like it's making things more clear, more consistent nomenclature across the board, which that's what Blender has suffered for a while, but they're constantly cleaning that up, constantly making things match from different parts of Blender. Certain things are called one thing in one part of Blender, and then they're called something else in another part of Blender. That's just it was just a hodgepodge of pieces like put together. So they're trying to make everything consistent, so it's like one big happy program that works the same in every area. Which makes sense. Okay, anyway, this has been long enough. It's been about an hour and a half now. Let's see. No more comments or questions. I will I'll just wait for a couple minutes and just see if you guys have anything else that you might want me to test for the VSE, or I mean anything else if you want. I know that I would love to see better masking tools in Blender. I did a masking course, which is up on my YouTube channel. You can see. I think it's like 5 or 6 videos, but yeah, it's just the masking tools are very rudimentary and antiquated. I would love to have more. I don't want to use the word AI, but it's essentially that. Like you have machine learning or whatever to generate like depth maps, and I know that there are products out there already, and I have one actually. It's is it on here? Can I see it? I don't know. I have it. No, it's not. It's not installed, but it's depth anything, I think. Which I'm going to be using in other upcoming tutorials to show you how to do the depth map and do relighting on your character, which I'm really excited about, but I've got to test it out a little bit more. Thanks for the reminder. I'll have to watch those. I was wondering about masks from other parts of Blender being used, like images as masks. Can you do that? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, easy. Actually, images as masks is really easy to do. And, you know, especially with the compositor now being connected with the VSE, you can either create masks from the compositor and use the compositor, or just create a black and white mask in the compositor, export it as an image, and then use that as a mask in the VSE as well. Can you but yeah, you can use strips as masks. So like I was trying to do before, which here, let's Alt H here. Let's see. Okay. So if I create a color, duplicate that color, make this one white, and then grab that on the X and move this over here. So now I have, and then I make this a meta strip. Okay, now I have one meta strip that is a black and white image. I can even say, I'll say meta mask. I can hide this meta mask, take this video, add in a mask modifier, and with the type on strip, I can say choose my meta mask. And there you go. So so yeah, you can use strips, you can use images. If I saved this out as an image, which I did earlier in this live stream, I think I could import that in and use that as a mask as well. It works with modifiers. The interestingly enough, the compositor modifier also has a mask input now, where you can combine masks in other types of Blender and create a mask in the compositor and combine them. So everything's getting really intricate and connected, a lot more connected. Yes, it is excellent. Yeah. Well, oh, you mean the ones I've already created? You said thanks for looking forward to watching your other vids on masks. Yes, and most of that stuff is still relevant. Like the masking hasn't changed much. So even though it's it's a much older version of Blender, you're still going to be able to do the same types of things. So that's why I haven't really created a new masking tutorial. Maybe if they significantly improve it, I'll change it, or I'll make new videos. But what they have, so one of the things on my masking series is the custom transitions using masks from geometry nodes. That's changed a lot because geometry nodes has changed a lot. Geometry nodes has changed crazy amount. So what you were able to do and the way you were able to do things way back in the day when geometry nodes started is completely different now. So I don't even know if that still applies. Someone did comment recently on that, saying that it helped them, and I'm like, oh, well, that's good. I mean, they may be using an older version of Blender too. I don't know. Yeah. But like having things more like, I mean, we have so many tools now at our fingertips today, and all these other programs, especially with masking and rotoscoping and in the Adobe products and stuff, and other things where it's like it can automatically, or at least almost automatically, recognize the difference between the foreground and the background. And so if you have something moving in the foreground, it will do an automatic rotoscope kind of mask, and you can kind of guide it, of course, but we need more of that kind of stuff in Blender, because in my opinion, one of the reasons why I like the VSE is because it can essentially replace Adobe, the whole Adobe suite. Now, it's not perfect yet, and it's still maybe more painstaking to do in Blender, depending on what you want to do. But like particle systems and visual effects and all of that stuff, you can create in Blender, in the 3D part of Blender, and then import that scene, the 3D scene, into your VSE timeline, and combine, do your video editing, do your visual effects with real footage and CGI elements. And like with the Adobe stuff, you have to pay monthly, but you also have to purchase like different packs of different kinds of particles and this and that. And you can probably do that same thing with Blender, but you can also just make them yourself. And if you are good at it, you can make them and sell them yourself. So, and plus, I just don't like Adobe. I don't like Adobe. I think, especially with their, all these companies encroaching on your data and thinking that they have a right to just, we're just going to read everything you do and make and train our AI LLMs on that. Don't get me started on that. I might make a video. People are, I think, sick of talking about AI at this point, but I might make a video, an AI series video, just my rants on it. It's not all bad. I love AI for certain things, and it's the nuances about it that make the difference. So, I remember I encountered some quirk with the mask groups recently. We'll have to track that back down and bring it up in a future stream. Yeah. And I might just make a future stream just about masks. I don't know, making an actual tutorial seems a little bit more cumbersome, but if I just went to like, let's go over masks. That way I don't have to edit anything afterwards. Just let's go over masks. This is how you do a mask. This is how you make it. Here are some of the pros and cons about doing it in Blender. But by the way, that's the tutorial series that I really want to get to, or just videos that I'm going to put in a playlist. Like, I want to have a playlist on my channel called "Do It in Blender," which I think I already have, but it's only like 2 videos in it or something like that. But do it in Blender, meaning like what people do in other programs like Adobe or Final Cut Pro or whatever. I want to say you can do this same thing in Blender. AKA, you don't have to pay for these big programs. You can just use Blender, which is free and open source, to do all of these. So that's really, yeah. I'm just getting excited talking about all this now. And audio too, man. I've edited audio in Blender, just a bare bones basic audio, and I just, it's so cool. It's just so cool. One of the things I love about the VSE too, by the way, is apparently certain programs have audio channels only and video channels only, so you can't mix and match. But here, any channel can be anything. It can be text, it can be audio, it can be video. So I can move this around to anything. I bring it up over here. It's not tied to anything unless I want it to be. And it can be added on any channel, and it's just the flexibility. That's really good flexibility. So well, we still got 4 concurrent viewers here, but I gotta take out the dog, so I gotta go on another walk. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. This has been fun. It was a bit wordy again. It says I haven't done a live stream for a while. It took me a lot longer to set up. I actually wanted to have this live stream start earlier in the day, but took a long thumbnails, and I don't like the thumbnail, but I just had to settle on something. I'm terrible at making thumbnails. Only things I need outside of Blender is a DAW export as a GIF animation, FSpy, and Meshroom. That's cool. That's cool that that's all you need. I would love to work with Meshroom. And what was the other one? Isn't there another free one? There's Meshroom and there's there's another free program where you can do like the photogrammetry stuff. I am okay. I already was about to say goodbye, but so photogrammetry. So FSpy, I love FSpy, even though there's no updates to FSpy since I think it was like 2019 is the last update to FSpy, but it still works. Still works in Blender, I think. Well, I haven't tested it at 5.1, but I've been trying my darndest to get an FSpy, not an FSpy, a Blender only version of photogrammetry, and maybe Blender plus FSpy. By the way, Perspective Plotter is good too, and that's only like. It used to be. I think I got it on sale. It was like $15 when it first came out, but I think it's like maybe $30 now on Blender Market. Super high now, actually. But Perspective Plotter does the exact same thing FSpy does, but all in Blender and all in real time. So you don't have to do the thing, export it, import it, test it. So it does it all in real time. It's worth the money. And the things that I enjoy buying for Blender are the things that are, it's not a subscription thing, unless it's video. So I am subscribed to Ian Hubert's Patreon because he's just amazing. So content and videos and stuff, I don't mind a subscription model because, they're constantly putting out new stuff. But if you're purchasing something, like this is why I won't use the Keen tools. The Keen tools have great camera matching, object tracking, camera tracking stuff. But it's $18 a month. Or at least it was when I saw it. And I'm like, no. Because if you stop paying for it, then you can't use it anymore. It's like, I want to buy something and just use it. Like, the days where we own things are like slipping away very quickly. So I like the one-time purchases. So one-time purchase for things like that, I really do like. If they improve the quality. So Perspective Plotter does that. It's FSpy in Blender. So I highly recommend that. They don't sponsor me or anything. I just it's just another thing that I thought. But anyway, so what I was saying is I want to find a way to do photogrammetry with things like FSpy, Perspective Plotter, and not have to do like the actual like photogrammetry and then have the point cloud and then you import that and all of that stuff, because at the end of the day you have to learn another program to do that. There are a lot of things you have to remember, a lot of nuances, a lot of bugs that you have to get around. And when you import it, you have like millions of polygons, which you have to remesh anyway. It's like, what if I just took the pictures, put them into Blender, and then modeled them in a way to have the same effect, which you can do already if you know how to model. But the thing is, the scanning stuff and the photogrammetry is really good to create really quick assets for people who don't know how to model. I think that's really it. So I'm trying to think of, well, is there a way that you can, like, people that don't have modeling skills, if they only knew a few tricks, could they achieve really good results? And I think you can, with like depth map creators, which would be another thing you'd have to purchase, but that's also another one-time purchase. So you could, like, for example, a tree trunk I'm thinking of. So you can make a tree trunk, you could take pictures like around this tree trunk. You can line them all up in Blender with different cameras, project the image down, and then model from those images, having that projection come down, create a texture, then create a depth map from that texture, and then you have essentially you'd have that photogrammetry. And that would be just done with Blender and then some plugins. But okay, I want to remake F-Spy in Blender eventually, but that's well above my pay grade. Hey, F-Spy is great, but it's very, there's a lot of features that are lacking. That would make it, the quality of life for that so much better. So hey, more power to you. And if you made something like that and you sold it, I'd buy it. So let me know. Getting info straight from Ian Hubert is a sound investment. Yes. And I love his style too. Like, he's just so, I love listening to him. I could listen to him ramble forever. I don't know if people feel the same about me, because I don't feel like I have this as quality of ramblings as he does. But yeah, I just like, I wish I could take half of what he's, even half or even a quarter of the things he's done and put them into practice. Because just a lot of cool stuff that he's created, and I've learned a lot of stuff from him and CG Matter, man. Those guys, they're just like, they're rock stars with Blender, and creating cool stuff in Blender. But I am going to be revamping my video editing series with Blender 5. Well, it's 5.1 already. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to save it to 5.2. I already wanted to start it, but yeah, I might do it now. I need to maybe check to see what 5.2 has to offer first. But anyway, now I'm just chatting, just just talking about my own opinion. So I really do have to get the dog out. So okay, you guys have a great rest of your Saturday, and thanks for hanging out. And you will, as always, see me in the next one. So cheers. See you later. Okay, end stream. How do we do this? End stream. End.